Every day you wake up with a choice: stay comfortable or grow, stay the same or improve. Success is not built in dramatic moments, it is built in small, daily decisions. Discipline may feel uncomfortable now, but regret stays for years. Today, we are going to talk about how choosing short-term discipline protects you from long-term disappointment and transforms your future. Discipline is not a personality trait. It is not something you are born with. It is a decision, made daily. It is a quiet agreement you make with yourself when no one else is watching. People often believe that disciplined individuals are somehow different, stronger, or more gifted. But the truth is far simpler and far more empowering. They simply decide. Over and over again. Every single day. You don't wake up one day magically transformed into a disciplined person. You wake up and you choose. You choose whether to hit snooze or rise with purpose. You choose whether to scroll endlessly, or invest your time wisely. You choose whether to move closer to your goals or drift further away from them. Discipline lives in those small moments. It hides in ordinary decisions that seem insignificant at the time but compound into extraordinary outcomes. You decide to get up when the alarm rings, even when your body feels heavy and your mind negotiates for 5 more minutes. You decide to work when you don't feel like it, understanding that feelings are temporary but results are lasting. You decide to act when excuses whisper, recognizing that excuses are clever but costly. Every decision either strengthens your discipline or weakens it. As Rohn would say, while success is nothing more than a few simple plans practiced every day, that means greatness is not built in grand gestures. It is built in repetition. Reading 10 pages a day, exercising for 30 minutes, saving a small portion of your income, making one extra phone call, improving one skill. These actions seem small, almost too small to matter. But practiced daily, they become unstoppable forces. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not talent, it is daily choices. Talent may give someone a head start, but discipline determines who finishes strong. Many talented people fall short because they rely on motivation. Discipline does not wait for motivation. It acts regardless of mood. It understands that progress is a commitment, not a feeling. Small disciplines repeated daily create massive results over time. Just like drops of water can carve through stone, consistent effort shapes your future. One healthy meal won't transform your body. One workout won't change your strength. One focused hour won't build a career. But repeated consistently, they alter the direction of your entire life. Missed disciplines repeated daily create regret. Skipping today feels harmless. Delaying action feels comfortable. But when small neglect becomes a habit, it quietly builds disappointment. The gap between intention and action grows wider. And regret is born in that gap. Discipline is not dramatic. It does not announce itself with applause. It is quiet. It is consistent. It shows up in the dark mornings and the late nights. It shows up when no one praises you. It shows up when results are invisible. And that is precisely why it is powerful. Each day you are voting for the person you will become. Every disciplined action is a vote for strength, growth, and self-respect. Over time, those votes define your identity. You are not what you say you want. You are what you repeatedly choose. And the beautiful truth is this: you get to choose again tomorrow. Regret doesn't shout today. It whispers tomorrow. It does not arrive with noise or warning. It is quiet in the beginning, almost invisible. In the moment of decision, everything feels harmless. Skipping the workout feels easy today. Avoiding the hard conversation feels comfortable today. Wasting time scrolling, procrastinating, delaying your dreams, it feels small, almost insignificant today. There is no immediate consequence. No penalty is charged. Life simply moves on. But regret is patient. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that whisper becomes louder. What once felt harmless begins to feel heavy. The workout you skipped becomes the health you lost. The conversation you avoided becomes the relationship that drifted apart. The opportunity you postponed becomes the door that closed. Regret grows heavier with time because it feeds on what could have been. In the short term, discipline feels like pain. It demands effort, focus, sacrifice. It asks you to confront discomfort. But regret is delayed pain. It waits. It allows you to feel comfortable now so you can feel uncomfortable later. And later is always more expensive. You don't regret what you tried and failed at. Failure teaches. Failure strengthens. Failure gives you stories, lessons, resilience. When you try and fall short, you still gain growth. There is pride in effort. There is peace in knowing you had the courage to step forward. What truly haunts people is not failure, it is inaction. It is the business never started, the dream never pursued, the words never spoken, the risks never taken. Regret asks painful questions. What if I had tried? What if I had started earlier? What if I had believed in myself? Those questions echo in the mind because there is no answer. There is no closure. Only imagination of a better path that was never walked. Discipline costs you effort now. It requires you to wake up early when you would rather sleep. It requires you to study when others relax. It requires you to save when others spend. The cost is visible and immediate. You feel it in the moment. Regret costs you peace later. It steals confidence. It erodes self-trust. It makes you doubt your courage. And unlike discipline, regret compounds negatively. The longer you delay action, the heavier it becomes. The longer you ignore growth, the further you drift from your potential. And regret is expensive. It costs you opportunities. It costs you time. It costs you belief in yourself. Time is the one currency you can never earn back. Money can be regained. Skills can be relearned. But years lost to hesitation cannot be recovered. That is why regret hurts so deeply. It is tied to time. The beautiful truth, however, is that regret can be prevented. It is avoidable pain. Every disciplined choice today is protection against tomorrow's disappointment. Every small courageous action silences a future what if. When you feel resistance, when comfort tries to seduce you into delay, remember this: you are not choosing between comfort and effort. You are choosing between temporary discomfort and long-term regret. One is heavy now but light later. The other is light now but crushing later. Choose wisely, because tomorrow is built by what you decide today. Growth and comfort cannot live in the same house. One must move out for the other to move in. Comfort is warm, familiar, predictable. Growth is uncertain, demanding, and often intimidating. The problem is not that comfort feels good. The problem is that it quietly keeps you where you are. And if you are not moving forward, you are slowly moving backward. If you stay comfortable, you stay average. Average habits, average effort, average results. Comfort convinces you that this is enough. It tells you not to push too hard, not to risk too much, not to stretch beyond what feels safe. But everything meaningful in life lives outside that safety zone. Your potential does not expand in comfort. It expands in challenge. If you chase comfort, you chase stagnation. You start organizing your life around ease instead of progress. You avoid difficult tasks. You delay big goals. You lower standards to protect your feelings. Slowly, without realizing it, you begin shrinking your own future. Not because you lack talent. Not because you lack opportunity. But because you prioritized comfort over growth. The gym is uncomfortable. Your muscles burn. Your lungs strain. You sweat. But that discomfort is the signal of progress. Studying late is uncomfortable. Your mind feels tired. Your friends are relaxing. But that discomfort builds knowledge and discipline. Building a business is uncomfortable. There is uncertainty, rejection, risk. But that discomfort builds resilience and independence. Discomfort is not your enemy, it is your teacher. But so is living with what if, and that discomfort is far worse. The discomfort of effort lasts hours. The discomfort of regret can last decades. The question, what if I had tried, echoes louder than sore muscles or tired eyes ever could. Discipline stretches you. It pulls you beyond your limits. It forces you to confront weakness and turn it into strength. When you stretch a muscle, it grows back stronger. When you stretch your mind, it expands. When you stretch your courage, it multiplies. Growth requires tension. Without tension, nothing develops. Comfort shrinks you. It makes your world smaller. It reduces your ambition. It convinces you to settle. The more you feed comfort, the more sensitive you become to challenge. Small obstacles begin to feel overwhelming. Minor criticism feels unbearable. You become fragile, not because life is hard, but because you have avoided the very experiences that build strength. Your future depends on which one you feed. Every day you are feeding either comfort or growth. Every time you choose the easier option, comfort grows stronger. Every time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, growth gains ground. And here is the powerful truth: growth becomes easier the more you practice it. At first, eventually it becomes natural. At first, speaking up feels terrifying. Eventually it becomes confidence. At first, pushing your limits feels exhausting. Eventually, it becomes your standard. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you expand your potential. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more. You build evidence of strength, and that evidence builds belief. Comfort promises safety. Discipline delivers progress. One keeps you where you are. The other takes you where you are meant to be. Choose wisely. Your life is not built in one big decision. It is built in daily habits. We often wait for a breakthrough moment, a dramatic opportunity, a powerful connection, a sudden burst of motivation that changes everything overnight. But real transformation does not happen in a single leap. It happens in small, repeated steps taken consistently over time. Destiny is not decided in a day. It is shaped quietly in the routines you practice every morning and every night. What you read matters. The books, articles, and ideas you feed your mind either expand your thinking or limit it. What you watch matters. The content you consume influences your standards, your beliefs, and your expectations. Who you listen to matters. The voices around you can either challenge you to grow, or make excuses feel acceptable. How you spend your time matters. Time is life in its rawest form, and once spent, it can never be reclaimed. Habits are small choices on repeat. They seem insignificant in the moment. Reading 10 pages does not feel life-changing. Saving a small amount of money does not feel powerful. Practicing a skill for 30 minutes does not feel extraordinary. But when those small actions are repeated daily, they compound. Just like interest in a bank account, positive habits accumulate quietly until one day the results are undeniable. The same is true in the opposite direction. Negative habits compound too. Skipping workouts, delaying important tasks, spending impulsively, surrounding yourself with negativity. These actions may feel harmless today, but repeated over months and years, they build a life you never intended to create. Discipline turns positive actions into habits. It bridges the gap between intention and consistency. Anyone can act once when they feel motivated. Discipline is what keeps you acting when motivation disappears. It transforms effort into routine. It makes growth automatic. When something becomes a habit, it no longer requires intense willpower. It becomes part of who you are. Regret is the result of negative habits left unchecked. Rarely does someone wake up and make one catastrophic decision that ruins everything. More often, it is a series of small, careless habits that slowly lead them away from their goals. Regret is not built in a moment, it is built in repetition. You don't suddenly become successful. You gradually become it, through disciplined habits. Success is a reflection of what you repeatedly do, not what you occasionally attempt. A healthy body is built through consistent exercise and nutrition. Financial stability is built through consistent saving and wise decisions. Confidence is built through consistent action and courage. The powerful truth is this: your habits shape your identity. Every action you repeat casts a vote for the type of person you are becoming. When you study daily, you become disciplined. When you train daily, you become strong. When you practice gratitude daily, you become positive. Identity is not declared, it is developed. Change your habits, and you change your future. You do not need a complete life overhaul overnight. Start small. Replace one negative habit with a positive one. Improve one routine. Protect 1 hour of focused effort each day. Over time, these small shifts create massive transformation. Your destiny is not a mystery. It is a mirror. It reflects the habits you practice daily. If you want a different future, build different habits. And stay consistent long enough to see them shape your life. Let me tell you something powerful: no matter what path you choose in life, there will be a price to pay. Nothing meaningful is free. The only difference is when you choose to pay it, now or later. And the truth is simple: the price of discipline is always cheaper than the price of regret. The pain of discipline is temporary. It shows up in the early mornings when your alarm rings, and your body begs for more sleep. It appears when you are studying, while others are relaxing. When you are training while others are quitting. When you are saving money while others are spending freely. It feels uncomfortable. It requires sacrifice, it demands consistency, but it does not last forever. Once the task is done, once the habit is built, once the result begins to show, that pain fades, and in its place comes pride. The pain of regret is permanent. It lingers. It revisits you in quiet moments. It surfaces when you see someone else succeed in the area where you once hesitated. It whispers, "You could have done more." And unlike the temporary discomfort of discipline, regret does not strengthen you. It weakens your confidence. It makes you question yourself. It reminds you of opportunities lost. The pain of studying is temporary. Long nights, mental exhaustion, focused effort. These moments are difficult, but they pass. The knowledge you gain, however, stays with you. It opens doors. It builds competence. It gives you options. The pain of ignorance, on the other hand, can last a lifetime. Not knowing limits your choices. It closes opportunities before they even appear. It keeps you dependent instead of empowered. The pain of saving money is temporary. It requires restraint. It asks you to delay gratification. It forces you to think long-term instead of short-term. But over time, that discipline builds freedom. It builds security. It builds peace of mind. The pain of debt can follow you for years. It creates stress. It restricts your choices. It forces you to work for obligations instead of dreams. Discipline asks you for effort. It asks you to show up when it would be easier not to. It asks you to push when it would be simpler to quit. But it gives back far more than it takes. It builds self-respect. It builds strength. It builds momentum. Regret demands your confidence. It erodes your belief in yourself. Each time you fail to act, you teach yourself that your goals are optional. That your promises don't matter. Over time, that loss of self-trust becomes heavier than any short-term discomfort ever could be. And here is the truth: you will pay a price either way. If you avoid discipline, you will eventually pay with regret. If you embrace discipline, you pay with effort, but you gain growth. There is no neutral option. There is no path without cost. The question is, which price can you afford? Can you afford years of wondering what might have been? Can you afford the weight of missed opportunities? Or can you afford temporary discomfort that builds a stronger, freer, more confident version of yourself? The choice is yours. Pay now with discipline and live with pride later, or avoid the cost today and pay with regret tomorrow. One investment builds your future, the other steals it. 5 years from now, there will be two versions of you. Both will have faced challenges. Both will have had opportunities. Both will have experienced fear, doubt, and moments of uncertainty. The difference will not be intelligence, it will not be luck, it will not be background. The difference will be daily decisions. One version of you chose comfort. That version hit snooze too many times. Waited for the right mood. Delayed starting. Talked more than acted. That version convinced itself that tomorrow would be better, that someday would come, that there was still plenty of time. Slowly, without realizing it, that version built a life of almosts and maybes. The other version chose discipline. That version acted even when it didn't feel like it, started before feeling ready, showed up when it was inconvenient. That version understood that progress is not glamorous, it is repetitive. It is often boring. It is sometimes lonely. But it is powerful. One made progress. Excuses are seductive, they sound reasonable. I'm tired. I'll start next week. It's not the perfect time. But every excuse accepted is a vote for the weaker version of you. Every disciplined action is a vote for the stronger one. Success does not belong to the smartest. History has shown that talent without discipline fades. Intelligence without action stalls. Potential without effort expires. The world is full of gifted individuals who never reached their potential. Because they relied on how they felt instead of what they committed to. Success belongs to the most consistent. Consistency beats intensity. A small effort repeated daily outperforms a massive effort done occasionally. Writing 1 page a day creates a book. Saving a little each month builds wealth. Training consistently builds strength. It is not about dramatic bursts of effort. It is about steady commitment. When motivation fades, and it will, discipline remains. Motivation is emotional. It rises and falls. Some days you feel unstoppable. Other days you feel drained. If you rely only on motivation, your progress will rise and fall with your emotions. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It asks what you said you would do. Discipline wakes you up when your mind negotiates. It reminds you of your standards. Discipline pushes you forward when distractions pull you back. It keeps you focused when others lose direction. Discipline builds momentum, and momentum is powerful. At first, progress feels slow. Results are invisible. You wonder if it's working. But when you act consistently, something shifts. Small wins accumulate. Confidence grows. Energy increases. What once felt difficult becomes normal. Momentum begins to carry you. And momentum builds success. Once momentum is on your side, it becomes easier to continue than to stop. Your habits support you. Your routines guide you. Your identity strengthens. You are no longer forcing yourself. You are becoming yourself. 5 years from now, you will meet the result of your daily choices. That future version of you is being built right now, in this moment. The question is simple. Which version are you creating? The future does not belong to the lucky. It does not belong to the talented. It belongs to the disciplined, those who show up, stay consistent, and refuse to let temporary feelings control permanent outcomes. Listen carefully.